Welcome, my fiery Aries souls, both longtime cosmic warriors and the freshly curious just stepping into the wild universe of Zodiac Talks Tarot. Whether you've been with us since Saturn last threw a tantrum or you stumbled in because your ex showed up in your dreams again, you're exactly where the stars wanted you. And no, that's not just algorithm magic. That's alignment. Now, let's talk about what's unfolding for Aries between June 9th and 15th, a window that feels less like a casual forecast and more like a karmic rerun with a plot twist. This week's energy opens with the Page of Swords reversed, which, in plain terms, means someone has been lurking in your energetic shadows like a moth to your flame, or, let's be honest, like someone who still scrolls through your old photos at 2 a.m. and pretends they're just checking in. And while the reader may open with a back crack and some comedic chaos, the truth is layered. Someone can't let you go. They're watching, regretting, replaying the ending in their head, wondering if they fumbled their one shot at something real. By the time we hit the second act, we've got Page energy dominating the table, an emotional green flag dipped in red paint. This is someone who feels deeply but lacks the spiritual maturity to handle you in your full Emperor glory. With the King and Queen of Wands both reversed, it's clear this isn't just any ex. It's someone who once matched your fire and now burns in their own indecision. A potential twin flame? Maybe. Or maybe just the dingleberry of your soul's karmic cleanse, clinging, unfinished, but unready. They wanted the Four of Wands, stability, union, maybe even a Netflix password. But what they delivered was more like the Ace of Coins reversed, all promise, no follow-through. It's the classic case of almost destiny, the kind that leaves you staring at the ceiling wondering how something so intense could dissolve without closure. So here you are, Aries, in the thick of it. You turned your back not to punish, but to protect your peace. And just as you've started building something new with bricks of self-respect and spiritual discernment, the universe goes, hey, remember this one. If you've ever felt like your love life was being directed by a cosmic trickster with a dark sense of humor, you're not alone. And honestly, you might be one of the chosen ones this soul's called not just to love deeply, but to evolve through it. Stay tuned, Aries. The plot's just heating up. Let's talk about what really went down, Aries. Because if we're being honest, and I always am, sometimes to the point of cosmic discomfort, you weren't just daydreaming about a situationship here. No, this one had 10 of Cups potential. You saw the house, the kids, the matching spiritual gangsta t-shirts. You may have even scrolled Zillow late at night thinking, yeah, we could have built a life. But alas, they fumbled. Not just the ball, but the entire damn field. And now? They're stuck. I mean mentally handcuffed, spiritually ghosted, emotionally frozen like a 2008 iPod playing your shared playlist on repeat. They haven't really left the scene, they've just become the background static in your energy field. Still in orbit, still replaying the finale, still wondering how they managed to turn a divine connection into a cautionary tale. But here's the twist, cue the retro soundtrack, they're coming back. And not with swagger, mind you. More like Mercury in retrograde meets romantic anxiety. This person is showing up in magician energy, which means they're trying to manifest you like you're a DoorDash order of closure with a side of second chances. Meanwhile, the Queen of Cups peeks through the veil, letting you know that emotions, though wildly unregulated, are still flowing. We've got triple pairings on the table now, King and Queen of Wands, that's your shared fire, King and Queen of Swords, all that cutting truth, and King and Queen of Cups, the emotional undercurrent that just won't die. But guess who's missing? The Empress. That divine feminine, nurturing, I see you and I still choose me kind of energy. Without her, this union? Not quite divine. Not yet. Something's gotta shift. And that brings us to the Devil. Yes, that card. The one people love to fear until they realize it's really just a spiritual mirror with fangs. This is Karmic 101, Aries. If you want the lovers, you don't swipe right, you walk through the fire. You confront the illusion, the ego, the fear, and yes, maybe even that secret playlist called Our Songs that still haunts your Spotify. This isn't about fighting the devil, it's about realizing it's always been your own chains. Fear of intimacy. Addiction to potential. That weird need to fix people who show up broken. But here's the kicker, not everyone makes it through that gate. Most people choose comfort over transformation. But you? You're Aries. You are the fire. And only the chosen ones walk through the flames and come out not just intact but evolved. So light the incense, grab your spiritual armor, and don't look back unless it's to laugh at how far you've come. Let's pull back the curtain, Aries, because what they're feeling now is, well, it's a whole mess in a cosmic blender. With the sun reversed and the Three of Swords sitting front and center, it's safe to say this person is spiritually ashy, emotionally winded, and probably Googling how to win back in Aries without getting burned alive. They're in full heartbreak mode. Think moody playlists, cold coffee, and late-night scrolls through your old photos like they're searching for the meaning of life in your vacation smile. But don't let the tears fool you, because here comes the Knight of Cups riding in with a poetic text that sounds deep but low-key says nothing, paired with an Ace of Wands flash of I still want you energy. Translation? They're about to slide into your DMs with their heart in one hand, and absolutely no idea what the hell they're doing with it. Now, let's be clear, this person is emotionally scrambled like eggs at a roadside diner scrambled. They don't know what they want, but they're convinced you still want them. And honestly, that confidence would be impressive if it weren't floating on a cloud of delusion. It's giving King of Wands energy, hot, magnetic, charming, but without the emotional literacy required for actual intimacy. They're banking on chemistry to bypass the work. They think passion is a substitute for growth. Spoiler, it's not. Meanwhile, Aries, you're sitting in Emperor mode, legs crossed, crown straight, energy unbothered. You're not out here chasing half-baked offers. You might entertain a conversation, but only if it comes attached to a 20-carat soul contract with terms, conditions, and emotional maturity clauses. You've done the inner work. You've met your shadow in a dark alley and bought it tea. You've turned pain into power, and now? You're holding the line like a spiritual CEO. With the Hierophant beside you, you're operating from wisdom, not wounds. You're not playing spiritual ping-pong with someone who can't even name their own feelings. You've got standards now. Real ones. And breadcrumb spirituality? That's off the menu. You want depth. You want presence. You want alignment, not someone showing up with a bouquet of apologies and no plan. So yes, they're coming. Yes, it's messy. And yes, you might feel something stir. But the final choice? That belongs to you. And something tells me, you already know your worth. Let's talk about that sacred tug-of-war happening in your soul right now, Aries, the one between your heart and your higher self. Because yes, the connection is real. This isn't some fantasy cooked up by your lonely brain at 2 a.m. while doom scrolling. No, this bond has gravity. Cosmic weight. And as much as you'd love to pretend you're over it, that you've floated off into detached Zen enlightenment, let's be honest, you're more like a monk with Wi-Fi. You're grounded, sure. Self-aware? Absolutely. But non-attached? Depends on the day and whether they posted a throwback that hits a little too close to home. The truth is, Aries, you're still holding space for this. Not in a needy, desperate way, but in that quietly brave, I know my worth and I'm not closing the door, yet kind of way. You've done the healing. You've sat with the discomfort, asked the hard questions, and maybe even screamed into a pillow shaped like their zodiac sign. And through it all, you've cultivated presence. You're not chasing, but you're not blind either. And let's be real, you see them. You feel them. That ache in their energy? That yearning? You don't need confirmation, they're practically broadcasting it on the psychic radio. But here's the twist, you're not bending. You know what you bring to the table now. You are the damn table. The Hierophant and the Ace of Swords together? That's spiritual discernment meeting radical honesty. You're not here for vague promises, emotional ambiguity, or half-healed people throwing around words like soulmate just to get a second chance. You want clarity, commitment, and a seat at the grown-up table where emotional fluency is the minimum requirement. Now, let's take a peek into how they see you. And will you bless their heart? They've got this romantic little fantasy where you're curled up in a dimly lit corner, sipping chamomile, and writing poetry about their absence. The 9 and 10 of Swords energy is all over it. In their mind, you're haunted, devastated, and lost without them. But the truth? You're chilling in full Emperor energy, probably sipping on green tea while journaling your moon transits and gently unpacking your childhood triggers. You're not broken, you're just evolving. And if that freaks them out, that's not your problem. Bottom line? They may think they still have you wrapped up in knots, but you, dear Aries, have already untangled yourself. You're not where they left you, and if they want a seat in your new life, they better come correct. Let's bring it home, Aries, because here's where the heart meets the test. Despite the chaos, despite the emotional spilled milk, mismatched timing, and all those weird text messages that read like love poems ghostwritten by anxiety, this person loves you. Deeply. Not just in the I miss your laugh kind of way, but in that soul level, I screwed up and now I see what I lost kind of way. And now? They're coming back. Probably not with a flawless presentation. This isn't a Netflix romance. Expect a little stammering, a nervous offer, maybe even a metaphorical bouquet of "please take me back" energy. But they'll mean it. At least this version of them will. The real question isn't whether they'll return. They will. The cards already told us that. The real question, the one only you, dear Emperor, can answer is this: will you let them in? Not out of nostalgia, not out of loneliness, but because your soul recognizes readiness where once there was chaos. You hold the gate now. And if they want access, it's got to be through truth, humility, and a whole lot of growth. Now, for those who want to dive deeper into the tangled web of emotions and fate, the extended reading is where it gets rich. We're talking their next moves, both bold and awkward. Their rawest feelings, stripped of ego. Their unconscious needs, yes, even the ones they don't understand about themselves. And the future potential of this sacred, possibly karmic entanglement. Because if you truly are one of the chosen ones, and something tells me you're not just here for romance. You're here for transformation. And sometimes, that soul-altering growth walks right back into your life wearing the same old face, just with wiser eyes. So, final thoughts from your guide here at Zodiac Talks Tarot: you didn't turn your back to be cold, you did it to protect your inner sanctuary. If they return with love in hand and ego parked at the door, maybe, just maybe, the universe is offering you a second chance, but this time, you get to set the terms. Because now, the Emperor chooses. And while you're here, don't forget to live a little, go dance under the stars, take yourself out on that solo date, laugh till your abs hurt. Life is still beautiful, whether you're in love or in waiting. If this reading resonated, give it a like, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe to Zodiac Talks Tarot for more cosmic truths, sacred sass, and soul-deep storytelling.